On three, two, one. Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are. Uh, and we are going to, and we are live. So anybody that shows up at the chat room and wants to say hi, I have that right in front of me so that I can talk to you as we go along. The first one in the, I guess you could say, the hot seat with the hot head, meaning the type of torch, not the person that's behind the torch. Well, who knows, but that's beside the point. Um, he's, we've decided to try to make a teddy bear to begin with. And then from there, we might review. At one point, he did a dolphin. So already it shows that we have 4 people watching in the audience. Probably two of that is me and also Rene and Loren watching. So that means 2 more people could be watching at the same time. So welcome to the show. If you have any questions or want to chat with us, again, I have the chat room um, straight ahead of me so that I can try to read what's going on. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and demo a teddy bear with me uh, with my camera angle just over my torch, like always. Here we go. There we are. And first of all, I'm going to do one a little bit larger than you have to there, Loren, because again, you're using soft glass and I'm using. Um, Howdy, Richard. Nice to see you in the chat room. Glad that you chimed in. And if anybody else wants to, please do so. I may not be able to type, but I can read, I think. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm not that dyslexic. Anyway, um, first you make a nice round ball, and then after that, you can go one of 2 ways. And I've done it both ways. And I think for you, it would probably be better to go ahead and put the head and that stuff on first and then work from there. So let's go ahead and I'll do the round ball for the head. Paula, nice to for that you showed up, and it's nice to know that Renee's in the chat room mediating. That's a good thing. Thank you. So here we are. We do a nice round ball for the head. Now on top of the head for ears on a teddy bear, um, I put 2 dots near a little bit further than middle back, and about, I don't know where an ear goes, and then about 45-degree angle from that. I do it, well, actually a 90-degree angle, excuse me, 90-degree angle from that. I do another one very similar to that, where the 2 ears should go on a bear. Then from there, I go ahead forward and put 1 more dot for the nose. And for the nose, I do basically the same thing that it looks like for the ears, but then I sometimes do what I'm doing now, which is press it like that, and then go back and heat up the nose a little bit and pull upwards just a front tip, and then you got a little bit of a nose created there. Okay? Then I go back and heat up the ears and flatten them like so. And then, and then, I've got some green glass here that I'm going to make for the eyes. And I usually accent the eyes, but if you don't, if you want to use all the same color, that's okay too. Um, the eyes go on both sides of the nose, of course, and in front of each ear. That's the best way they look, glowing like that. But
So how did
Anyway,
you end up with the following from the UK, Bubba?
what's that?
How did you end up with a following from the UK?
Um, I've got people who have been watching all over the world. I mean, I've Russia, Japan, China, just it's surprising. Some of them it's only one or two people that have actually, watched one of my videos. But UK, I've had several followings. I've had a couple of people that I've chatted with. I think one was in South Africa somewhere. So yeah, it's
Wow.
all. I mean, I've been at it for a year now. I'll have to admit. And matter of fact, I think we're going on my anniversary either today or yesterday or one of those days. Where was my first video that I put online, uh, which was encasing green exotic.
Right.
Now with the bears, bear arms, again, it's about in the same directions that you would put the ears, but you're now putting it on top of, but you're putting a little bit more forward than you would. The ears go towards the back, the arms go towards the front, but you're doing it at about the same angles that you did for the ears, but putting it on the body itself. One of my jokes is, and I do believe in the right to bear arms, but the true animals in this whole entire world that have the right to bear arms are bears themselves. I know, bad joke, haha. Yeah, they can play with glass over there. Come on now. And that's what I like about what I'm doing is that I'm reaching people and giving them a chance that I never had when I first started because I literally, again, I picked up a hothead torch, very similar to yours, Lauren, and and kept melting, pulling, and stretching, and there was literally no place for me to go to work, to learn from, and it was just a matter of stumbling on a new thing here or finding out that I need glasses there, and going time after time and learning stumbling block after stumbling block. But I think the thing that kept me going was somewhere down the line, actually a lot of where down the line, a lot of people said, "Hey, give it up, you'll never make it," and I had to prove them wrong. That's my stubborn streak, I guess. Now to pull off the tail, and right now that's the main part of the punte. I really heat up just below the bottom legs until it becomes very pliable, and then I start pulling towards the back. And after you pull it off, it also becomes the tail to the teddy bear that you just did. And then I heat up just a little bit more and flatten it down. And you got a nice little round, pudgy little teddy bear. Tap it off, fire polish his nose. One little teddy bear. Ta-da. So how we doing, Lauren? Let's see
Well,
what
I
you're
got
up
a
to.
head.
You got the head, and do you
I
have
got a,
you have the round ball body, correct?
I haven't quite got a round ball body on it yet, but I think I
So we're,
started backwards.
yeah, you need to do the round ball body first, and then add the head to it, so you're headed in the right direction.
I kind of went, yeah, I kind of went the wrong direction there. I'm just shattering glass all over the place.
Yeah, when I started, it was in 1982. And I say November of 82, and I let them do the math instead of saying 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years. But that the date never changes. It was November of 1982. Good for you, Tobias. Ooh, well, glass isn't too heavy to lift up there, Tobias. I know it hurts, but yeah.
Christmas madness.
Well, he says that Tobias says that he's got it might be is a hernia, and yeah, well, glass isn't too heavy to lift, so you don't have to worry about straining that part unless the hernia is somewhere else,
Yeah.
which that's a possibility too. Just doesn't have to be in the well anyway. Okay, how we doing there, Lauren?
I'm having to kind of work backwards here.
Okay, you've already got the head. Yeah, just sort of heat and push in and sort of make a round Maria for the body itself. You're getting there.
Yeah, kind of what I got.
You gotta
I'm
learn.
at a punch back for the tail. So
You gotta learn also to do more centering. Well, when you're spinning like that, it helps to center. And I know you're spinning a little lopsided, but that works. You're okay.
I'm trying to figure out where I'm at on this little pal.
Well, I wish I was over your shoulder so I could see it just a little better. Oh, you have to cycle to the shop. Ah, well, how far is the shop away from you there, Tobias?
There's the nose.
Warm it in. Did you get the round body yet, or how we doing?
Yeah, round body, and I've got the head on it. Got the ears and the nose. Now I need to put legs on. I've got one leg
Okay.
on, but it's a little off.
Again, this comes with practice now. A round ball, and you just learn angles. And if you've got the image of a teddy bear in your mind somewhere, that's all you're looking for. The arms that sort of go up at at that right angle, and the back legs that go up in about the same. The arms that go out like this, and the back legs they sort of go down and curve up just a little bit, so it sits well by itself. I don't know if they can see me of what I just did or not, but I'll do it again anyway. Yeah, the upper arms go out like that, and the lower arms go out and then sort of curve up just a little bit at the end so that they do well, so that you can use it as a tripod to sit on. Good evening, Crazy for Glass. Nice that you showed up. I'm glad I did advertise it this time and that people are actually coming to watch. I'm excited about that. Thank you for being here, people. And these are almost, I'd say, a lot of my uh, core people that actually watch it time and time and time again. Richard was here this morning, and so was Crazy for Glass. Tobias has caught me in the morning too, so not over the river and through the woods, huh? That's okay. I understand the principle. If you can't get there, you can't get there. At least you can watch some videos and also, um, almost like the Music Man, believe it or not, it does help, is where you're actually thinking about it and going through the motions in your mind, what I call putting things on the back burner. And you may not be actually doing it in front of you, but you're actually trying to sit there and see that glass is being melted in your mind and trying to shape things, which is pretty cool. How are the arms coming?
I got the arms on. I got the legs on. Kind of Looks like he's doing the jazz hands thing.
That's okay. Like I say, this is your first one. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Now I need to finish off the tail here.
Again, what you're doing is you're heating up just below the bottom legs, and you're getting it pliable, and then you start pulling a little bit towards the very back of the bare body, and then at the very last minute you pull upward and burn it off. Now heat off that and flatten it down. And now go ahead and once you get it flat, throw it right in the vermiculite or the fiberglass cloth blanket you got.
There we go.
There you go. Yay! You have to
Well,
look at that later, and I do want pictures. I don't care what it looks like, and I think that's one of your problems there, Loren. You're upset that it doesn't look perfect too, even though I think Renee is even worse than that. She doesn't want to show off her embarrassments, but if you look at it now and take pictures of it now, and 5 years from now you can take pictures of the things that you're doing, and also comparing to what you have done, you say, I have come a long way. And then in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, I wish they had digital cameras when I started, because I'd have been making pictures all the way down the line.
Oh, I think we're going to take Renee to the hot seat and let her have fun here.
It's only 7:15. You got till 8. Do you want to do one more piece?
Well, we can switch back and forth. I'll come back. I'll come back to the dolphin.
Okay, so you want Renee to do something now? Is that it?
Let her in. I got to get up and move around. I've been sitting here for about an hour.
Your legs are falling asleep. I don't blame you there one bit.
The live chat is still up, and you can help read through and do that stuff.
Yeah, I got to get. There we go.
Anyway, there's that.
Boro, Paula, has some interesting properties, and I'll have to admit, soft glass has a lot of interesting properties. I admit, and a lot of people also would admit that soft glass has a lot bigger palette to choose from, but it's not. But I guess if you've been doing it long enough, you know how to treat it and put it in the oven so fast. But at least with Boro, you've got a little bit wider window that you can put it into the oven long before it'll crack. Besides that,
It'll be interesting to see what happens when we get that system set up. We're still probably a year and a half, 2 years out from being able to afford to do Boro.
you might be surprising yourself. If you put like 1/20th or 1/20 quarter%, a quarter of all your profits back into the business at this point, or even more if you can. And yes, you're going to start making profit too. I can see that coming. I mean,
God, I hope so.
Some of the beads that Loren's already produced is definitely money worthy.
He has a great eye for art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get something that I can anneal them a little bit better in.
Yes. They even have. I have gotten one, and it might be worth your while to get. It's an older little machine, but it was a jeweler's. It's about. I'd have to say, what, 2.5, 3 inches in diameter. I've got it in my house right now. I could go reach and grab it, but that's another story entirely. But it's heating. It's almost like a heating element for a stove, but it's not. It is an oven heating element for ceramics and jewelry, so that you could make small enamel things and stuff like that in it. And it's an older little piece of equipment, but it might be worth your while if you're only doing like 5 or 10 beads at a time, to do that with it. But the crock pot, and I assume it is turned on, correct?
It's on high right
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah,
but it,
that'll help ease it down slowly instead of all at once, which is a good thing. And the vermiculite
yeah,
does slow it down. It does make a big difference there too. So you're working in the right direction. You're doing the best you can with what you got, and you're getting there. Believe me.
Well,
Okay,
yeah. All right. What are we
so
gonna go for?
let's get busy. I have no idea either. What did you want to try to do?
I'm always interested in working with my ABCs. So, you know what? You did
What?
something kind of interesting there. You made an eye rod for making dotted eyes. Do you remember that? The marine eyes. The
An I
little
Maria?
micro. Yeah, an eye Maria.
Well, not an I Maria. I mean an I Millie. Excuse me.
I,
Dyslexia.
if
Um, what colors do you have available all that you know are the same COE?
I have a blood red striker. I
Okay.
have the amber. I have a pearlescent yellow.
Ooh, the
Yeah,
yellow would, the red would be interesting for an eye, but that would be, do you have any black?
not 104. I have the purple though. I
You
have
have
some
what?
purple.
Okay,
Purple.
that'd be a good middle for an eye.
I also have a sky blue.
Well,
I,
that could be the iris for the eye.
I also have a forest green. Little bits and pieces here and there.
Okay.
So, so what am I gonna do here?
Yeah, an enameling oven will work for you if you're only doing small amounts of stuff. I mean, if you're doing miniature, which is a good thing to do, uh, because that way you can learn without wasting as much glass, and then you can get bigger. And plus,
Right?
um, Tobias said I have an enameling kiln. I was thinking about repurposing to do, and that's what I was talking about. That's why I was saying that. Yeah, and Paula, I understand that about in some respects. When I first started, I wish I'd started in Boro, but my very first ones in soft, I got to the point where it would be like 10 to 20% save rate, and then it got up to 10 to 30%, and then 30 to 40%, and then about 50 to 60% save rate out of the soft glass, and then it turned around and I finally got into Boro, and it became like 70% save rate overnight, and then 80, and then it was about 90 to 93% save rate with and I was using just a propane torch at the time, and I finally got into a propane oxygen torch, which is a big welding torch. I think I've shown it somewhere down the line. Okay, Richard, nice to see you. And thanks for showing up. Appreciate it.
Okay. So, what am I doing?
What are you doing? Okay, first of all,
I pictured
you're
myself a solid.
figuring out a color that you want for the outside color.
That'd probably be.
I mean, the inside color, excuse me, the inside color, not the outside color.
Let's do
Like
the purple for the iris.
okay, the darker part, yes. You wanted no, the blue will be the iris, the ring around the eye.
Yeah.
Or wait a minute, yeah.
You're right.
But the purple will be the dark part of the eye.
Right. That's it.
Now, you can do this one of two ways, and both ways will, and you don't have to make this very long, probably about an inch, inch and a half is what we're going to be working with, and we're going to make just a little bit of eye millie, okay?
Right. which color, which part of the eye am I starting with?
Starting with the center and working your way out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to heat up, and you can see that mine's about, I'd say about a half an inch to 3/4, well, a half an inch in length is what I'm looking at. Okay. And I'm flattened it out a little bit and squared it off, rectangulared it a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rock it back and forth to make sort of like a C, or try to make it into a curved C all the way down the end of the square that I made. It doesn't have to be perfect, and of course it's not coming out the way I want it. I got it better. Flatten it out even wider is what you need to do. This is one of those things I haven't done too many of them either, but I know I can do it. It's one of those things that you're going to curve it in the middle of it, heat up just the edges, and curve it up so that it makes a, like your tongue is going, bleh. I wish I had, well, we'll see how things go. I'm very, I think real quick I'm going to be getting an upgrade to my cameras so that people can see a little bit more what's going on. Okay. Okay. Now that is the main idea, is that you're trying to make a crescent C. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but actually, I'll tell you what. Good thing I've got my trusty, rusty image board here going on. Okay, what I did was I flattened it. I flattened it into like a rectangular disc, and then turned around and rolled it back and forth so that it sort of curved. And looking at it from a length angle, it sort of looked like this when I finished. Of course, that's on the punte. I don't know if that's a good example of what I'm doing or not. Well, you know what? I got it on the wrong camera angle to begin with. Anyway, give me a second here, people.
Looking at the
I
back
didn't
of
realize that it was on A, Renee, and B, I had the wrong camera anyway. Here we go. There we are. Okay, started out with this, which is sort of like a rectangular flat disc, and then turn around and put the curved it over into sort of like a C. And now what we're going to do from that is add encasement glass over it. Now you can go ahead and put a little bit of, do you have any white?
Not in, just the yellow.
Just the yellow. Okay, that'll be fine. Well, now what you're going to do is go ahead and add the blue. And you're going to layer that over just like you would encase something. And you've seen me encase, right?
I have. How tight do I want to make this C shape? Because the one that I've got is almost like a, I mean,
like a half tube.
Did you see that, Lou?
Yeah, it's like a half tube. That's exactly what you're looking for. And that's what the design that I just showed you are. Yeah, there you are. Thanks.
Okay, so you want me to lay the blue on it?
You'll be in my, your wife will be in my thoughts and prayers there, Richard. Hopefully things will go out well for her. So we'll get there. Now,
so you want me to encase the whole C shape?
yeah, just layer layer your blue color that you're putting on it, and you'll layer some right in the middle of that C. and then layer it all the way around the C.
Okay.
Layer it inside the C.
Now it's on.
And what that is doing is basically you're making the iris around the dark part of the eye.
Right.
Now, if you had some white, you can put a little bit of white in the middle of the C to sort of like give you a little glint in the eye, if you understand the principle.
I do indeed.
But since you don't have it, you can't use it. I won't let you. Don't you just love my watching?
More. Did you look for another piece of this blue anywhere? There's no one.
Okay. Stretch it out a little more.
Well, there's blue in front of you, but it's a
Now you can go ahead and layer that twice all the way around. And the main reason is that you want it from here. What you're doing is you're going to turn around and pull that out into a stringer that you can use as eyes. It'll have a nice little black ring and a dot and the blue ring around it for the eye itself. And then you just dot it and pull it off. But you got to make sure that you, when you're making these stringers and dotting your eyes, literally, that you're only using a very thin section of it to dot the eye. Or as you heat and break a piece off and it's not got as much, or it's a little bit longer, it'll round in and you'll lose the essence of what you're trying to do to begin with.
Somehow I think I've already managed that.
What's that?
Nothing. Big Phil, sorry.
Yes, it's going to be an eye stringer that you can dot and really make eyes out of, literally. That you could put on your animals, and it'll have, instead of just a one color, you can have a 2 or 3 color eyeball going on. Or if you wanted to, you know, really enhance a frog or something, you could add a couple of different colors to it. This is just a very simple eye millie. I've done a video on it, and if you would like, I'll try to put the URL in after all said and done, and I get the you know, edit the content of what we're doing, because beforehand I don't really know what we're going to do. We're just going to do it. So I shoot from the hip a lot of times. Now, once you've encased it twice, all you got to do is just heat and round it down and make it into a nice thin little rod or stringer, depending on upon how big you want your eyes to be.
Do I want to put yellow around it to make the white part of the eye?
Well, you could put, yeah, go ahead and, well, you could try another color around the ring, the blue ring that you just done, and it should come out pretty interesting, to say the least. You know, you could add about 2 or 3 different colors, and it sort of come out with a, you know, a target looking thing on it, and it would turn out really nice, come to think of it.
Well, let's just see how far I can push this.
You might try using these to kind of
Yeah,
shape it down. Don't flatten them, just use them to kind of round it in.
Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to put this on a little white background maybe do like a little teddy bear head or something so that you can see these eyes on a on a figurine, I guess you could say, to see what mine came out looking like. I still don't know what mine looked like until afterwards either. So because it's completely encased with color. Now, at the very end, there's what they call a knuckle. And as you can see, it's a nice little pointy thing. And if you're good, you can heat it up and pull it down into, my cold welds are screwing up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to pull this down. There we go. And narrow it down into practically nothing. Because the more you can get out of that knuckle, the more eye millie you can make later. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do to really get the most out of your eye millie is turn around and nip it with like either a pair of, like I use wire cutters to nip my little things with. My glasses are dark, and it's dark to begin with. Okay, I'm going to thin this down too to put on smaller things.
Sorry it's taking so long.
How you doing? I haven't been. I've been sitting here trying to do mine, and I haven't been paying attention to you.
I've got my third color going on as we take.
Okay. Now, also, I would suggest that you, on the end of this rod, put a totally different color on it. Just a round ball color. So that you don't confuse this for just the color blue stick later on. That with that round ball on the end, you can say, oh yeah, that's millie, so I got to leave that alone. And use it for the eyes. That would be my suggestion to just about anybody and everybody that's listening. That when you make a millie like these little tiny things, that you can use it for what you want instead of use it as a colored rod and screw up all that good work for nothing.
Yeah, just because of art piece, yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna, and the thinner you stretch it out, the smaller eyes you can make with it. Now that's another thing. When you've got a big piece of millie, knuckle like they talk about or something like that, and you heat it up and you stretch it down into little thin, little tiny things, you can have tons and tons of little pictures if you get a hold of somebody that really knows what they're doing with millie. I mean, that is a gimme, I guess you could say. They really will know what they're doing with it. And there are some people that can make, Bart Simpsons and any cartoon character or any other thing that you would like that you could think of to make it into a millie. I saw some millie fury that was done in a PBS series one time, and it literally, between the lettering and the eagle, it was a disc about that big around, and it actually had like the United States of America seal on it or something, and it was called the Masters of Murano. And it had to be, it has to be at least 15 to 20, no, it has to be 20 to 25 years old video that I saw it. But they actually showed different types of glass that is produced in Murano. And that was one of the things. It was like, whoa, beautiful stuff. Anyway, neither here nor there, right? Okay, I'm going to see if this thing will actually show up the way I had. But again, you've got to make sure that you add like a bright orange or a different color entirely to the end of this rod of glass so that you know that, oh yeah, it's a millie. It's not just a rod of colored glass that I can use in something else. I can't stress that enough. And if you come across some of that UV stuff, it's not Illuminati. It's the other stuff. I can't think of it at the name because I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. But
Lucy.
Lucy, that is also another color that you should probably either tape, put a piece of tape on it saying that it's Lucy because it's so clear that you might mistaken it for clear glass. And that's not a good
Yeah.
thing because that's
No,
expensive stuff.
oh, that's expensive stuff.
That's expensive stuff to be just using as something that you didn't really want to make it into Lucy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick teddy bear head, and I'm going to try to put some of the eyes that I just did on the head. Actually, I'm just going to flatten it out and do the disc and put some eyes and a smiley face. I mean, it doesn't have to be very big, and it's going to be on some green glass, a jade green glass. Yeah, the things you can do with millie are endless, and the only thing that stops you is your own imagination saying, I can't do that. And there are classes that you can take to learn about millie, believe me. There'll be people standing in line to take your money to teach you how to do it.
So, what are we paying you?
That's a different story.
Awesome.
Now, when you add an eye millie or whatever, what you're doing is you're heating it up, touching it too, and then bending it back and forth. Well, that one didn't do it. Let's try it again. You're trying to really weld it on there really well. Heat it back and forth. Well, let it cool a little bit, and then bend it back and forth until it breaks off. It's still, when you wanted to do something and you're trying to explain it, guess what's not going to happen? Okay, we're going to do this one more time. See if it can happen. Heat it up.
Keep all the buddy. Keep all the
Touch it too. Bend it back and forth. And then it snaps off. The other fun thing that you're going to have to learn is where you put the loops on the eyes when it happened anyway. In other words, the little C that you did produce. The worst part about it is the two colors I used are about the same color until the temperature cools down, and then you can start to see the color again.
I don't know where my colors are.
Of course, I used a dark around a dark. That didn't help, I guess. That didn't help. But you can use simple millies, and you can do it for just about anything. It doesn't have to be elaborated or really elaborate designs in there. Yeah, slicing and polishing it into coins. What country do they use it for currency? Tobias?
What?
Tobias said crazy millie pulls I've seen in Marcel Braun pulling very detailed millie and slicing, polishing into coins, encouraging their use as currency.
Dude, that's cool.
But yeah, you heat up where you're going to be putting the eye, Millie. You touch it too. You then wait just a second, let it cool, bend it back and forth, and it snaps off a little above, and that gives you a little bit of an eye, Millie, to go with. I should have gone with a lighter color around the dark, but this dark with the dark, it just sort of, that time it came off, snapping off real good. Yeah, that's what I get for using dark colors. What, sir? Oh, I mean, what, ma'am?
I ended up with a huge knuckle. I've got a nice little piece of millie, but I've got a huge knuckle, and I'm poking around with it here. I'm going to try to pull it out and maybe another strand of millie.
Just a second. I'm gonna put you on the main screen here. Sorry. Now, what have you done? You've done the.
This is the second pull off of that knuckle.
Okay. And what you need to do is, yeah, thin it out, leaving a little bit more. There you go. Because that's all you need. An eye is just a little dot. You don't need a big one.
Right.
Well, I'm glad to see that there's a few people watching. I appreciate you being there, guys. And I think Renee also appreciates the support, too.
Yeah.
And Loren. But me, I
Yeah,
love the audience. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead and pull. That's getting a little bit long. You might want to burn that off and pull off some more from that same thing, if you know what I mean. You don't need to be holding it way, way out if you don't have to. Yeah, you don't need to be holding it way, way out here when you could snap it off and get back to pulling it closer in at that time.
It was kind of an interesting effect. You know, some of the glass was supposed to be encasing, and it looked like it shivered up because it didn't have a good hold on it, but it melted back yet. I mean,
yeah, you really got to watch it sometimes. But encasing is an interesting thing, and if you got an interesting color that you can add clear over it, oh, excuse me, then it works out even better for you, because then the color, you can stretch it out, because color usually is usually inexpensive. It's the clear stuff that the color stuff that's more expensive. And if you could put clear over color, then boom, you got more. Oh, in the U.S. or Canada, I don't know. But if it's in the U.S., I don't know what town I'd have to go to spend millie coins.
oh, that worked out.
But I tell you, the mini coin would be worth a whole lot more than a nickel by a long shot.
That would be one glass.
What?
From here to here is my rod.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Very nice and straight. That's the main thing that you've been looking to get to do all this time.
All the time.
I might make a glass blower out of you yet.
Well, I'm not holding my breath.
Well, neither am I, but you know what? I can still breathe. I can still breathe a lot easier than you think I can.
All right. So, the purple under the mustard. I don't know how well you can see the color on this, especially with my Yep, that's cold enough to hold. If you can see that at all, maybe over here
Yeah.
against the light.
Not under this light.
Little thick
Yeah.
and a little thin, but I can see it.
Yeah, this was the first one that I did, and it has the most of the central color, but the color showing through the mustard turned the mustard color almost to green. So there is some color transfer due to the melting of the glass, just like on a color palette.
Yeah, the blending of the two colors. Yes.
Very
Sometimes that
interesting.
happens.
I didn't realize that that could happen with glass. I thought that the surface tension of the viscosity, when you brought the glasses together, would allow them to adhere, but I did not realize that it would allow the colors to actually mix. That is definitely
all the way you either pressed it into the blue on the outside edge, or it's one of those things that if it's the temperature's just right and the colors flow, it can happen. And at
just
soft
like
glass,
paint.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it happening even faster. Believe it or not.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so now whether it actually turns, I hope I like this eye color because I certainly have enough of it.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Okay, so what time have we got, Lou?
It's 7:50 right now.
7:50.
750.
Hey, let's try a hummingbird.
A humming
10
who?
minutes?
You know, that stupid avian I've been trying to do for 4 months.
Okay, we'll give it a quick. We'll give it a quick go, and then I'll do a quick. Also, I'll throw out a request if somebody wants to come up with an idea that they'd like to see me do tonight. I'll see about
Start
doing
off.
that too. Anyway,
Start off. What did Ghost say at Halloween?
well, you start off with a round ball.
What did the ghost say at Halloween, Lou?
Boo, 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 boo.
Nope. I ain't got no body.
There you go. Hey, you're taking my corny jokes away. That's not fair.
Ah,
Well, you go ahead and ham it up. I'll let you.
yeah, my kids take my jokes too.
Now, again, what you're first doing with a hummingbird is making the main part of the body. And then from that, I sort of tilt it downward. Matter of fact, I am going to put me on the main screen and change my camera to my over my head again. I love this. It gets a little complicated, but it gets the job done. Again, it's going to be about a little less than 1.5 inches that I'm working with, and I make the round body, and then I start tilting it downward so that it becomes more of a teardrop. And the reason that you want to make it into a teardrop is because that is the shape of the hummingbird body itself. If you think about it for a second, and that if you can see that curve in there, that's the actual body of the hummingbird going on right there. Then I turn around and go ahead and do the head to the hummingbird and put that in place. I put the beak on at the last minute, but I put the head on now so that when I put the wings on, those wings are in the right place. And if I try to put the head in the middle afterwards, it sometimes gets stuck to the wings and it makes a little bit more of an horrible mess. So best idea is to put the body and the head on and then turn around and put the wings on. Got me so far?
Yep.
And then what you're going to do is put the wings on, add enough glass, and then you could press and pull it out. I'm going to do one wing. Actually, I'm going to do both wings. Instead of the fold and pull, I'm going to do both wings with a press and pull method. And with the press and pull, you put enough that you know that it's going to be enough for the hummingbird wing. You heat and press it into a nice round disc, and then turn around and heat it again and pull it into the shape that you want for the wing. Now you can turn around and get these this disc press that I just used to press it out. You can get one and get texture made put in it, like lines and stuff for the wings or feathers or whatever you want to do for it. That's just an idea. It's not written in stone, if you get the hint and drift there. Then I'm putting on the second wing. I'm going to do the same thing. Heat. And press. Then heat and pull out into the wing shape itself. See, I don't have to use the fold and pull. It's just one way that I do things, that's all. Looks like one wing's a little bit bigger than the other. We can fix that. Heat and pull it out a little more. There we go.
Glass on, I heated it up too much and it melted over. So I'm going to use my heat to get into tears here. And I'm going to cut that blob right down the middle to make two wings. And look, I've got a ladybug. How funny is that?
There you go. Then the beak, I do that next. Oh, I forgot the eyes. I think I'll use a couple of the millie that I just made. See if that works for it.
And I got a new way to make it feet. But honeybees.
A new way to make the feet? Good.
Yeah, I still can't make a freaking hummingbird, but I can make a stupid honeybee. Ah.
There we go. Yeah, I ended up putting some of the millie on for the eyes.
Okay, let me see what I can do for this bee. You still haven't put the tail on yet, have you?
Nope, I'm about to.
Alright. You
Now,
put the tail on before you put the feet on?
The what? Put the tail on before the wings? No, I put the tail on, I put the wings on, then I put the tail. Okay, give me just a second. I'm doing the tail now, and the tail is basically the same thing that you've done for the wings. You make a nice little round blob there on the, and you know, I do that DQ swirl. It stops people from stabbing each other. Okay, now's the time if you want to come up with a request that you'd like to see me do. If not, then we're gonna be quitting probably within the next 5-10 minutes, okay? And then we'll go from there. And that tail is done.
Y'all do realize this is more of Blue's Property Hour, right?
What's that?
I said this is more of the comedy hour than anything.
And I've got one hummingbird that sits quite nicely. Let me do that. Let me show it up real quick again. Now, when you're making a beak or you're making a long, thin strand like that, you'll find out that it's better to work with gravity instead of against gravity. So if you're pulling upwards on it, you're trying to hold up your arm and stuff, and it sort of um, wobbles the beak a little bit more. But if you pull heat and pull downwards with it, uh, gravity's working with you, and it's easier to make a straight line out of it, if that makes any dumb sense.
How's that?
Just a second. I've got to get there. 2 things to do in 5 minutes to do it all in.
Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. You got great wings, and I like your beak, too. That's pretty. Have you done the tail?
Yeah, let's see if I. Yeah, that's what I said. Let me see if I can keep it. Ah.
That's going to be the fun part, but I think you can do it. Put a cold weld on the end of the beak,
Oh, water.
just on the very tip of the beak, and that should give you enough support to do that. So.
There it is. Yeah.
Quickly
Wait, we get it.
put it in the vermiculite, right? Right.
Push its tail on it. Not the wings on it.
Okay.
Richard says, excellent job, Renee. Renee, nice hummingbird. Says crazy for
Thank
glass.
you.
And Paula says, nice job, Renee. So you're getting a lot of
I
people.
love
That's a good thing for you. I think you need somebody to pat you on the back besides yourself, right? Well, you know you're doing a good job. I know you're doing a good job. But yeah, that looks like a nice little hummingbird. Quickly put it in, fire polish that nose and put it in the vermiculite. Quickly, so that you've got it saved, not tore up later. Yay! A round of applause.
Hi
Anyway.
guys. Wow, that was fun.
And we've got 8 people. Well, I would have to say at least 6 people in the audience. So that's pretty cool. And they've been
Bless your
here
heart.
most of the evening. So that's a good thing too.
Hey, it's over the pond. Thank you for sticking it out.
Well, they like watching and doing glass too. Like she said, they said they can melt glass just like the rest of us. We don't have to discriminate just because they talk funny or like to eat crumpets.
I think they would have an argument about who's talking funny, sweetheart.
Oh, I could talk any accent that I really wanted to if I wanted. Matter of fact, there is an island very close to where I live called Harker's Island. And on this island, they lived a very close-knit and closed community for ages. And actually, the people there talk like they got marbles in their mouth. And it's like this. I go down fishing. You're going to go down there high tide and go fishing.
Good Lord.
And they even do some of the old English stuff like mommicked. Mommick means to be picked on. And, oh man, I've been mommicked. I tell you. Just some
Wow.
crazy, I mean, colloquial English from, old English, and it stayed that way.
Wow.
And it's pretty good stuff. there's actually two different accents very close by. There's the Harker's Island accent, which is the one that they sort of draw out and sound like they got marbles in their mouth. And the other one is Salter Path, which is another island. Well, it's near Atlantic Beach, and people have heard of Atlantic Beach, and it's connected with Atlantic Beach just a little bit further on that same inlet of land there. And they talk like there's no tomorrow. They'll speed their voice up and just really, go to instead of like taking their time like Harker's Islanders, they go blah 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 really fast. And that's just the way they talk. And that's just within Carteret County, North Carolina. And the
Yeah.
worst part about it is I've got the main families are Willises and Smiths and a few others, but I know I've got Willises and Smiths in my line. So I am a direct descendant of some of the local Carteret County people. Let's just put it that way. And
My
I've been
family
mom
started
about
here.
it times.
My family started in East Virginia,
Uh-huh.
where they landed from Cork County, Ireland,
Uh-huh.
and they had only been there for a very short period of time because both of the fathers of both of the people that started that line of my family were from Dumfries, Scotland, which is just over the border in England. And so I've always wanted to go there and see Dumfries and just kind of bump around there and look, and yeah, good kind of a thing. But yeah, we started out in 1637 in Lee Station, Virginia, from Cork County, Ireland.
Wow. So
Yep.
yeah, that's the way it works. Okay.
Yep.
I do want to see pictures of all the stuff that you guys did now. I don't care what it looks like and whether you like it or not. You hear me, Loren?
You see
Yes.
Lord's vessel?
And even the crack vessel I would like to see pictures of. And that should have been up on that should have been up on Melting Memories saying trying to do glass vessels. That it's nice hollow. It's not
It is.
easy making it hollow. Starting it out, from solid glass. It's not easy making things hollow. You
I
do
thought
more of a coil pot method, right, Loren?
Yes, I did a coil pot on the end of the rod, but
Okay.
my big is mixing two different COEs of glass.
Yeah, that'll do it. And that
Yeah.
happens. I mean, even now, I'll be working sometimes and stick a piece of glass into the flame, and it'll go, and I'll say, I think that's soft glass. I better not put this to the boro. Now, it doesn't
Goodness
happen very often. I do have, I've had me experiencing many types of glass. I've had many types that are available to me. So that's where that came in. Oh, anyway,
Well, we wore
I'm
you out
sorry.
tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and plus I've got to work tonight. So this is my I guess you could say I've got to go ahead and get off and try to get at least a half an hour nap before I go to work tonight. So anyway, people, with everything that's said and done, I'm thankful that you guys showed up and that everybody was very pleased with what Renee has done and also Loren. Um, with that, I'm going to close this live show and thank you. I think this is the biggest audience we've had so far. So thank you for showing up, and there'll be others, and I will try to advertise it well in advance. So until next time, as always, enjoy your day.